Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, a 5% crash on Bitcoin to $8,200. Is it going to happen? Why might it happen? And why is it so important that Bitcoin not fall below $8,200? Guys, Bitcoin looks like it's in a bear flag to me, so in today's video, we'll be discussing the potential fall of Bitcoin and why it is so important that Bitcoin not fall below $8,200. By the end of this video, you'll be walking away with a better understanding of Bitcoin, the current market, technical analysis, and I'm going to be giving you guys a trade setup. So if you guys do enjoy today's video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. Wouldn't want you to miss any of the videos, and make sure you watch until the end for that trade setup because I think you're gonna like it. But guys, before we dive on into it, I do want to mention that CT2A's sale will be ending at midnight tonight. You guys wanted me to extend it for a few days, so I'm extending it today through Martin Luther King Day. If you use the coupon code January 2020 at checkout, you'll get $40 off on the purchase price. You'll be getting access to all current and future content. So guys, you can check us out at the link in the description down below, and you can even join our Discord server to see what people are saying about CT2A in person. More on that at the end of the video. But anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Alright guys, one of the very first things I want to say here in this video is this. We are focusing on the bearish scenario here in Bitcoin. There is most certainly an argument to be made that Bitcoin breaks bullish and that Bitcoin does an inverse Bart Simpson and rallies here back up to like $9,000. There's a very strong case to be made that that could happen. I am by no means saying that Bitcoin is definitely going to break bearish. That is not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to show you guys how to trade Bitcoin should Bitcoin actually follow through on what to me looks like a bear flag and breaks bearish. If Bitcoin does do that, then this is the analysis that will go along with that. If Bitcoin did manage to put in a bottom here in the last 2 hours and breaks bullish, I don't want to hear anything about it in the comment section because this is not the point of today's video. I just want to make sure that's clear. We get a lot of whiners in the comment section sometime because they misunderstood the point of the video. Anyway, with that said, let's go ahead and show you something. I want to mention first the rising wedge that Bitcoin found itself in the last couple of days. As you guys can see, we had an uptrend of resistance right there, and we could also pretty easily draw an uptrend of support right there. Both of those came out the wrong color. And as you guys will know from the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy and the video on wedges and pennants, when a wedge is pointing in a certain direction, typically it's going to break in the opposite direction of the direction in which it is pointing. This wedge was pointing to the upside. It was a rising wedge, an ascending wedge, a rocket wedge, I don't care, whatever you want to call it. Bitcoin wasn't moving to the upside. And because of that, Bitcoin broke to the downside. We mentioned that about 3 or 4 days ago. I don't want to bother Taylor trying to figure out where I said that for a flashback, but we did mention that being a possibility of happening and how that rising wedge would actually indicate that Bitcoin's going to have a bearish breakout, and that's what happened. And elaborating on what I said earlier, guys, I want to make sure you understand, just because Bitcoin broke bearish here does not mean that this rally that we've been in for the last month is over. It doesn't mean that. If we manage to break bullish here, like we very well may, then all this was healthy consolidation and allowed the bears to have their opportunity, and then the bulls will be able to come back. So there is a chance that Bitcoin continues to rally here, and in fact, there's a pretty good chance that Bitcoin continues to rally here. With that said, I want to show you where Bitcoin is testing right now. Currently, at the moment anyway, Bitcoin is holding support on the 200 hourly simple moving average right there, and it's actually being held down, and at the moment, actually, it's testing the 20 hourly exponential moving average as resistance. Guys, if this were live, I would tell you this is a bullish breakout trade setup where if Bitcoin breaks bullish above that moving average, you should enter around 8670, or you should at least think about it, but this isn't live, unfortunately. So if Bitcoin starts to rally here, then definitely consider some kind of entry position because it's extremely bullish. If Bitcoin had a crash like this, trade sideways and broke bullish. Nevertheless, at the moment, Bitcoin is stuck in between this 20 EMA and the 200 SMA down here on the hourly chart, and it's going to decide relatively soon, probably before this video goes out, unfortunately, which direction it wants to break. I'll tell you what I think. I actually have a feeling we're going to break bullish here. But just because we break bullish here does not mean that we're out of the woods yet. Because here's the thing, guys. If Bitcoin does manage to break bearish, and by break bearish, I mean we fall below the 200 hourly simple moving average, and we start to fall below some of these wicks down here, maybe you could draw an uptrend right there. If Bitcoin falls below this uptrend, especially if we fall below that bottom wick right there, which actually lines up very, very well with previous levels of support right over here, then we're definitely going to be breaking bearish. What that means is that an entry position would be around $8,400 to $8,425 on a short position that I'll be showing you later on in the video. Just hold on to that number for a second, because I also want to mention that this trade would be invalidated if Bitcoin goes above $8,750 and sets a higher high here, because that would indicate that we're starting to go into a new rally, and we probably wouldn't be looking at short positions anymore. So if Bitcoin is trading above $8,750 when this video goes out, then I just wasted all of my time, and that would kind of suck. So for once, Bitcoin, don't do that. Don't be bullish. Come on now. No, of course I'm joking, guys. But anyway, the point point is that this correction here is actually a very healthy thing for Bitcoin until we break below $8,200 if that happens. I'll get to that in a second. The reason why I say this is healthy is because out here on the daily chart, as you can see, the RSI is starting to cool off. It would have been very difficult for Bitcoin to rally and break the 200 daily simple moving average right up here with an RSI that was already at 75. So the fact that the RSI is corrected down here to around 60 is definitely a good sign. One thing that's not a great sign is the fact that with this correction and sideways trading that Bitcoin has been going through in the last few days, Bitcoin's MACD has started to converge and accelerate its convergence on itself. As you can see, the signal line is coming down to meet the MACD line, and there's definitely a chance that we're going to have a bearish cross on the daily MACD chart in the next 3 days. If that happens, we're probably going to see Bitcoin falling below $8,000, which is not a good thing. We'll get to that in a second. For now, though, if Bitcoin does manage to put a bounce in above $8,200 and we start to rally again, then we're probably going to see a reversal on the signal line here, and it's probably going to continue to diverge even if they come in contact. Now, for $8,200, because I know you guys are probably wondering where I'm pulling that number from. If Bitcoin sets a lower low here on the daily chart, the hourly chart, the minute chart, whatever, if it sets a low below 84.50, it's probably going to go back down to $8,200. And the reason I say that, and by the way, this trade setup is only good for like 24 hours. After this, a lot of things change, and this might not happen the same way. If Bitcoin falls below that, we're going to hopefully come down and test the 20 daily exponential moving average at $8,200 and also the 20 weekly exponential moving average at $8,200 as support. The reason that we are calling $8,200 the level of support is because of both of those 20 exponential moving averages on the daily chart and the weekly chart. I would personally love to see Bitcoin come down and test the 20 weekly EMA and bounce off of it. That right there, that would look golden. Because guys, one of the most bullish things that a chart can do is what we saw back over here in July. Now, it didn't really carry through because we were in a bull market, but if you see a green candlestick, then a red candlestick, and then a green engulfing candlestick that's bigger than the red candlestick, that's actually extremely bullish. If we were to see the same thing where we had a red weekly candlestick down to the 20 weekly EMA and then a green candlestick that broke us up to at least $9,000 on the candle body for next week, not only would we be getting a level of support on the 20 WEMA, we would also be seeing that happen at the exact same time as our weekly chart bullish MACD cross. I told you guys this was coming. I told you in yesterday's video that these two lines were probably going to be sitting right on top of each other. That's exactly what they're doing. Just about no matter what Bitcoin does, we are guaranteed a bullish weekly chart MACD cross in the next week when that candlestick updates about 160 hours from now. And that right there is why I'm not actually terribly concerned about the bearish cross that's likely going to happen on the daily chart, because what does it matter? The longer term charts are overriding it. And look guys, I know a lot of you are saying, hey Jeb, what about the monthly chart MACD cross? Well, actually, the monthly chart MACD cross is trying to cross bullish again. As you can see, these two lines are coming back in contact, and the histogram's actually green. And since we're on the topic of the monthly chart, guys, this kind of weird bullish cross down here is actually at the exact same point where Bitcoin is getting support on the 20 monthly EMA, a very important level of support that we've seen Bitcoin test in history, and the RSI is curving to the upside. So the longer term charts look great. And that brings us back down to the shorter term, because the shorter term charts are the charts that are a little bit more confusing right now, because Bitcoin is still trying to decide if it wants to break to the upside or to the downside in this little inverse Bart Simpson pattern that is trying to establish here on the hourly chart. No matter what happens, I'm pretty bullish on Bitcoin over the next few months. We very well may trade sideways through the halving. We might trade slightly to the upside through the halving, but I have a feeling the inclination is going to be something like that. It's not going to be crashing. With all that said, like I said, there's a bullish case and a bearish case to be made here. There is most certainly a case to be longing here. Absolutely. I'm just not talking about in this video. Just because I'm not talking about it doesn't mean it's not there, okay? We good? Good. Okay, let's go. Here is the short position trade. And guys, first and foremost, when I say this, entry positions, exit positions, they are all dependent on the current market situation when that happens. Everything I'm about to say is not financial advice. I'm not your CPA, and I'm not responsible for your trades. You're responsible for your trades. Make sure you're using your own knowledge, wisdom, intelligence, and your own brain when you're making trades. Just because some dude on the internet says, hey, you might want to enter at $80,000, at $8,400 doesn't necessarily mean that's what you want to do. So make sure you're taking everything I say and using your own analysis to back it up. And also remember, guys, patience is key. If Bitcoin crosses your entry position, but it looks like it's about to put a bounce in, just because you cross your entry position does not mean that you should actually enter that position. Plans can change on the fly, and a lot of people don't seem to understand that. It's very important that you understand that. With all of that said, let's go ahead and show you what I would set up as a short position here. We're going to obviously have our price target sitting down here around $8,225. Why $8,225? Well, both of our major levels of support that we're looking for Bitcoin to bounce on are sitting down here around $8,200. We want to have that level of support just a little bit higher to make sure we actually catch the bounce and lock in our profit so that we don't get 95% of the way to our exit position and then we don't actually get a chance to exit. Our entry position is going to be sitting right here around $8,425, and our stop loss I'm going to set right up here. If Bitcoin were to come all the way down here and then it rallies all the way back up here to this bottom and then above it, then we're probably going to be going into a rally and I would get out of the trade. So this gives us about a 2.0 risk to reward ratio, which is decent. Now, guys, you normally want to look for bigger ones than that, and that's where the rest of this video comes in. This is a decent trade to enter. Let me show you a great trade to enter. A great trade to enter, if it happens, would be this. It would be shorting below the 20 EMAs. As we know, those 20 exponential moving averages are sitting down here around $8,200. As we also know, historically, they are very important levels of support. I can show you that. The 20 daily exponential moving average is the moving average that is broken when a rally is over. It's really very important, and if Bitcoin breaks it this time, we're probably heading all the way back down to like $6,500. The 20 weekly exponential moving average is even more important because it defines bull and bear markets. If we fall back below it, as you can see, what happened a couple months ago, we'd probably be falling off the metaphorical cliff. So that would definitely be a good place to be opening a short position. So I showed you a decent trade. What's a great trade? A great trade would be to open a short position. And again, everything I said about the first trade applies to this one. Use your own thinking. An entry position might be around $8,050. We want to give it plenty of berth because Bitcoin might fall below it and bounce and then not actually go in. And we want to use our own intelligence and wisdom about markets to decide, hey, is this actually a good entry position, even though it's part of our plan? If it is, then we'll go ahead and see what our stop loss wants to be. Yeah, I would say if Bitcoin gets back up here above about $8,400, then we could stop out. Probably a lot lower than that. That's really, this stop loss, the way this trade is set up, is going to be dependent on the market. As Dwight D. Eisenhower once said about war, plans oftentimes are useless, but planning itself is invaluable. These plans are very important, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to follow them to the T. They are important to try and follow, though. So we'll put our stop loss tentatively at $8,400, and then we could try and put our target a lot lower because, like I said, if Bitcoin falls down there, we're probably going back down to a very low target. We could try and bounce at $7,800, and that might be a place that you'd want to take profits along the way just to lock in some of those gains. But honestly, guys, if Bitcoin falls below those 20 daily EMAs, we're probably heading all the way back down here to like $6,900 where we have these bottoms. The reason I call this a great trade is because the risk to reward would be over 3.0, and honestly, you're pretty likely to see Bitcoin have a big crash if we fall below the 20 weekly exponential moving average. But again, with all that said, that is not what I think is going to happen. At this point in the market, all the analysis and my intuition is telling me that Bitcoin is going to bounce somewhere above $8,200, and we're going to continue to either trade sideways or rally. The purpose of this video was not to call for bearish price action. The purpose of this video was to call, if bearish price action happens, how we can trade it and what we can learn about the market through setting up trades around it. So hopefully you guys got some good value out of this video. If you did, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. And I want you to remember that everything I just said is not financial advice. These are simply trades that I'm looking at. You can use them at your own discretion if you yourself decide to. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it out for today's video. But before we do, I first want to mention the sale on CT2A because it will be ending at midnight tonight. I had about 6 of you guys ask me to extend the sale, so we did. We extended it through today, Martin Luther King Day. If you guys are interested in joining CT2A and getting access to 34 high-quality videos discussing pretty much everything you need to know about technical analysis, the link is down below. Use the January 2020 coupon at checkout, and you get $40 off the course price. If you guys are interested, you can also join our free Discord server linked down below to see what our students are saying about CT2A. We have a lot of our students over there in the free Discord server, so if you want to join down there and see what they have to say, you can say, hey, can I DM you and ask you a few questions about CT2A? I'm curious. Feel free to do that. A lot of them will be more than happy to give you some input on what the course is like and tell you whether or not they think it is a good investment. I trust the quality of my product and the quality of our service more than enough to have our students do testimony behind the scenes. A lot of people won't do that because they don't believe in their product. I believe fully in what we've done here on the Academy. And furthermore, guys, I've got a pretty cool announcement. The new camera, it's a Sony a6400, is coming in today, and what that means is that instead of looking like some kind of music video from the 1980s, I'm going to actually look like a modern YouTuber and content creator because the camera quality is going to be so much better. So when we get that new camera in, we're going to be going ahead and updating every single video in the Academy starting sometime next week, and that's going to take a couple of months. But as those updates happen, they're going to be rolled out to our students, and if you join the Academy today, you're going to get access to all of that new content completely for free because the price of the course is going to be increasing. If you join 4 months from now, you're going to be paying probably $400 for the Academy. If you join today, you're going to be paying $159 and getting access to all of the same content at the end of the day. So decision's yours. If you want to join later and pay more money, that's fine with me. I'm not going to complain. I'm joking, of course. I would prefer if you did it now and saved yourself some money so you can put that into Bitcoin. I do care about you guys a lot, but that is what's coming down the pipeline, and I thought you guys would be interested in it. So like I said, guys, links are down below. At the time of recording this, there's about 14 hours left in the sale. When this video goes up, there'll probably be about 11, so go ahead and check us out at the link in the description down below. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. But anyway, guys, before I go, I first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.